What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Y'all know what time it is. It's your boy Dom Kizzie in the building, and I can't wait to talk. And guess what? We gonna talk about it, huh? Man, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? Man, hey, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling amazing. This is the day that the Lord has made. I shall rejoice. I will rejoice. I am rejoicing, and I'm glad in it. Man, I am so grateful just to be back before you guys, man. I'm always, I'm dropping these videos every week, man, and it's been such a transition for my life. It has blessed me in so many ways, man, just because of, the content that I'm putting out. It has drawn me closer, to who I am personally, my purpose in life. And so, I love getting before you guys and just being able to share and talk, and can't wait to talk. You know what I'm saying? We talking about it. But man, this is another episode, another week. It's a brand new month. When this airs, it's gonna be a brand new month, and it's Men's Month. I dedicate these episodes, and also my weigh-in Wednesdays. Y'all know y'all got to check those out. Those are weekly Bible studies. They gonna kind of be geared towards the men as well. But ladies, don't feel left out. I'm gonna get on y'all too. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna talk about y'all too. So don't be like, oh, that's just for the men. No, no, no. God said in Genesis, it's not good for man to be alone. So when the fellas get these bullets, guess what? Don't get the ducking and running and hiding. Oh no, you gonna get this heat too. Get in. You know what I'm saying? But no, man, I'm excited, just to be before you guys, and this is really hot off the presses. I did something today, and I just got back, and I was like, man, but God has really had it on my heart to do this episode. So I'm gonna do it. Like I said, when y'all get this, it'll definitely be June, and we're gonna be rolling in Men's Month. Father's Day coming up, Juneteenth. It's a lot going on. So I want to start the month off right. So without further ado, man, I'm gonna go ahead and pray, open this thing up, so I can be settled in my spirit, and so that God can truly just speak through me. Because even though I'm doing the talking, I can't do it without my Father. I can't do it without Jesus. I can't do it without the Holy Spirit guiding me every step of the way. So I'm going to make sure that he gets all the praise, the glory, and the honor, and that, I want y'all to understand, this is my life. This is who I am. And I'm unapologetic for that, so without further ado, let's go. Father, I thank you just for another day, another opportunity. Truly, truly excited. I thank you for laying on my heart to even speak on this particular subject. And I definitely just want to continue to exalt you and lift you up. I pray that you have your way. I pray that, you would truly move me to the side, but just my flesh, allow my spirit to speak what you would lay on my heart to speak. And I pray that someone will be touched, and someone would be moved by what is being said on the day. I truly love you. I honor you. I thank you. And I ask these blessings in your dear, sweet Jesus' name. Amen. Let me make sure my phone is on, It's always when you trying to record or do something, all of a sudden your phone never rings. Ain't nobody trying to contact you. Ain't nobody trying to come at you. As soon as you trying to do something, hey, what you? Really? That's what we doing. But yeah. So we're gonna jump right into the title. Bam. The Fatherless Father. Yeah, man. Fatherless Father, man. Y'all see what it is. Can't wait to talk. We gonna talk about it. Like I said, this is Men's Month, and I've learned a lot over these last few years about fatherhood. A lot for some know my story, but not all. I was raised without my father in the household. I knew who he was, and he came around, and so but we didn't have a relationship. And when I say we didn't have a relationship, there wasn't no intimacy there. See, let me see if I can help y'all when I mention my relationship. Relationship It's just a coming together. Hey, I know you, you know me. And that's cool. You know, hey, I know your Jeff, okay, Melissa, all right. You know, oh, Dom, yeah, oh, okay, yeah, you know, Danny, you know, family member, you know, but that's surface. That's surface when you just know a person by their name, or you know them by how they look. That's that big dude. Oh, that's that little girl. Oh, that's that's that dog. You know what I'm saying? That's surface when you just know them by their attributes or their name. But an intimate relationship is when you go a little deeper. You know, you know some truths about them. You know some pain about them. You've gone through some pain with them. You've gone through some truths with them. You've seen them be low and you've seen them be high. You've seen them be in the middle. You've seen them be all over the place. And in reverse, they've seen you the same way. So when you talk about relationship, yeah, it's okay to have a relationship that's surface, but you can't stop there. It has to be an intimate relationship. See, I did a video where I talked about, God did. And a lot of people know God, but they just know the surface of God. There's no intimate relationship. Why? Because God wants relationship. He wants intimacy. You know what I'm saying? He wants that one-on-one, that shutting everything off and saying, hey, let's have a conversation. See, the only way you can really know a person or know your God, you gotta talk about it. Can't wait to talk. You gotta talk. Because when you talk now, you start letting your guard down, because a trust factor comes into play. So you're able, this is good. I'm like, God, where you going with this? But there is a trust factor that starts to take place. And when you feel comfortable, now, you know what I'm saying, you starting to, that guard, that wall that you had up, it starts to trickle on down. It starts to trickle on down. And now you start to let them in. It's it's kind of like how if you at the house and a stranger come to your door and you come to the door like, or you looking through the peephole like, yeah, who is it? Nah, he ain't here. Huh? What? You from where? Oh, okay. But see, the more that person comes, next time you might open the door and be like, hey, what's up? Y'all, you good? Oh, chilling. They still outside. But now you got the door open. Oh, no, yeah, man, just, hey, man, just chilling, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, just, yeah, you good? Okay, that's what's up. All right. Okay, bye. Close the door. But the more you talk, then they come over again. You be like, man, come on in, bro. Yeah, no, you know what I'm saying? Da. Have a seat on the couch. You done made it inside the house and you sitting on the couch. And then, you know what I'm saying? You talk some more. Man, come on in, man. Yeah, man. Hey, I'll get somebody in the kitchen. Boy, when somebody let you in their kitchen, when somebody let you in their refrigerator, woo! Oh, boy. Hey, we here now. We in this thing now. Why? Because intimacy, relationship. Well, I'm getting work. Hey, y'all get work. Woo-woo. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. Oh, Lord. So that relationship, it builds, but it starts by communication. It starts by talking. So when I say that, I knew who my father was or is, yeah, I knew him. Yeah, he came around every now and then. He made promises, but it wasn't intimate. It wasn't intimate. And it wasn't until I became grown, and it wasn't until his mother passed, and it wasn't until my mother passed, a few months after his mom passed, that, you know, we was here. And, you know, the gap has closed. And see, because of my growth and because of my journey, it don't have to be here. Because I understand who he is. And because I understand who he is, we ain't got to do this. As long as we in the vicinity, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? You know, I learned about forgiveness, and it started with him. Because, you know, when you grow up without a parent in your life, you feel some type of way. You feel some type of way, especially when you see others that have what you want. You know, like, for example, I see other people and their fathers. I see what their fathers are doing for them. So I'm looking at me like, what's wrong with me? You know, this is called the Fatherless Father. What's wrong with me? Why isn't my dad around? Why isn't my dad picking me up? Why isn't my dad taking me places? Why is my dad calling to say, hey, I'm coming through, but never do? Why do my mother have to say, you know, at one point, you know what? If you ain't gonna come, don't even call. Don't even whisper that you coming if you ain't coming. If you gonna come, show up. But don't call and say you coming and you ain't. And y'all, please understand this. I'm not saying this to bash him, because our relationship is, you know what I'm saying, we good. I just talked to him a few minutes ago, matter of fact. So we good. And there's joy in my soul for my father. I love him. And I've learned to understand that God chose him. See, Romans 8:28 say, and all things work together. And we know that all things work together for the good of those who love God and to those who are called according to his purpose. I've been called. I've been chosen for a purpose. So I had to go through what I went through in order to get to where I'm at and beyond. Because I'm not there. But I'm on my way. I'm on my way to a place. So even though my dad didn't give me what I felt I needed, God did. So I've learned to accept him for who he is. And after talking to him, I started learning some things. I understood why he wasn't necessarily there for me. And I actually have an older brother. I got a younger brother too. That he was there for. See, it's so much in that. But so when I talk about that, I'm like, yeah, that's, you know, I understand where our relationship is. And I'm perfectly fine. If I talk to him, like I said, I talk to him today. But if I don't talk to him for another 2-3 months, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I used to tear up. You know, I mean, just water falling. When Father's Day will come around and people calling in on the radio, yeah, I'm gonna give a shout out to my dad, and I'm sitting there, that's a lot. It's a lot of weight to carry. Because you think, like, what did I do wrong? But you got to understand and know it wasn't your fault. It's not your fault. So let me help somebody right now. If you think that it's your fault that your father wasn't there, and I'm just saying father because, you know, it's Father's Day this month. And I've dedicated this entire month to the men. So, you know what I'm saying? You got to understand it wasn't your fault. It's not your fault. But you're going to have to find deep down on the inside somewhere to forgive him. And maybe you won't get the apology that you're looking for. Because to be perfectly honest, I haven't heard or gotten a, you know what, I apologize for not being there. You know, in his own way, he's kind of said it, but it ain't like how I want to hear it. So, man, I messed up, man. I should have been there for you. I'm looking for that. I'm looking for, what's that, that meme right there where they do it? Y'all know that meme. I'm looking for that. I want some of that. Give me that. But you know what? It's cool. That's what I'm saying. Like, I couldn't come before y'all and talk about this if I was still dealing. Because I'm not. I'm free. You know what I'm saying? I love my father and I appreciate him. And he getting old. You know what I'm saying? He old man, you know what I'm saying? But getting back to where I was going today, like I said, by the time y'all get this, it's this was last month, but I'm recording it now because it's fresh. I went to my daughter's graduation. She graduated from 5th grade, elementary, and she's on her way to middle school. And, it was such a joy to sit back and watch that because I was like, wow. I mean, the girl is intelligent, smart. I mean, every award that teacher called out, she called her name. Honor roll, all A's, for the last 2-3 years. President award. I mean, like, she got them all. She got them all. If this was high school, she'd have got scholarships like my niece, just did. That's going to graduate from high school. Well, by this time, y'all see it, she'd be done graduated. It was that type of moment. I'm just sitting back there like, man. And for those who don't know, she's not biologically mine. So I bet y'all like, no, whoa, wait a minute. You said your daughter. Yeah, she's my daughter. She's not biologically mine, though. There's no blood that runs in our veins. Oh, but we like this, though. We like this. See, when me and her mom got together, she was, I don't know, maybe 8 months, about 8 months years old. And, I kind of knew her mom. I didn't really know her mom. I remember her say I knew of her or I kind of seen her on social media. And matter of fact, I made a little comment when she was pregnant. I was like, oh, you having our baby? I'll just being me, flirting or whatever, doing whatever I was doing on social media. And so I remember, when she started posting pictures of her, I'm like, oh, that's a juicy baby. So those who know her, that's why I call her Juicy, because she was she was juicy. She was a real juicy baby. Matter of fact, her grandmother like, who is this person keep calling my baby Juicy? So that name has stuck to the, now, of course, I call her my big girl because she like, oh, dada. She don't like to hold, you know how they grow up. They ain't no longer cute. They just, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I had to kind of bond with her before she even knew who I was. And so, me and her mom got together, we got married, So I've raised her. And, her dad is in her life, so it's not like, I'm all she know. She know her father. And so, but I've been there, during her entire 11 years. And so she look at me as a father just as much as I look at her. So when I went to the graduation, it was important for me. It was important for me to be there. Number one, because me and her mother's no longer together. And her mother is actually moving on to do other things. And so, I had to make a decision. Because when me and her mother was no longer together, it was like, well, because we're not together, do that mean, my relationship with this child ends? And I had to make a decision. See, this is why this is called the Fatherless Father. I had to make a decision. And I talked to her mother. I said, you know what? I see and understand that we just not, we're not here. We're not. But if you will allow me, I want to continue to be in Kaylin's life. That's her name, Kaylin, or Juice, I want to continue to be in her life. Because as a man or as a boy who grew up without a father, I know what that looked like. And like I said, I know she has her dad. But I just know what it did to me. And so I was like, I want to continue because, like I said, I done changed diapers. I done did it all. You know what I'm saying? I've been there financially, spiritually, all disciplinary, all of that. She know me as dad. She don't know nothing else. So it would behoove me to walk away just because me and her mom are no longer on the same level or same, not now, hold on now. Because I know somebody going to watch it and go back, yeah, he said he on the level above you. The devil is a lie. We just not here. We're not here no more. We're not seeing eye to eye. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to her mother, man. She's a great mother. Much love to you know what I'm saying? Blessings to you and your endeavors in further growing. Okay, back to the registered program. So I'm like, no, I gotta be there. I gotta be there for this child, for my child, because she mine. You know what I'm saying? Because we here. We here. Even as her life changes, even as things starting to look different, we here. So, and I'm also coming out with a book. I want y'all to know, called The Fatherless Father, because the purpose of this is how do one become a father when he never had an example of what that looked like? I've had my people in my family be like, oh, well, yeah, you had your grandfather and you had uncles and you da-da-da. I don't know how it worked for anybody else, but for me, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. My grandfather has given me a lot of wisdom, a lot of things that I use to this day, especially when it comes to that money, baby. You know what I'm saying? My grandfather taught me, he said, hey, when you got it, you ain't got it. Matter of fact, we was at the store, and anybody knew my grandfather, he barbecued all the time. So, when we would go to the store, he pick up meat and stuff like that. And he was like, yeah, go on, give me that one right there. And he said, now I know when you with your mama, she checking the prices. He said, but when you got it like that, you ain't got to check no price. You get what you want. So I learned from Papa, like, hey, when you got it, you get what you want. But when you don't have it and you know what I'm saying, you nitpicking, now you trying, because the reality of that was, and I just want to I'm just throwing it free game. You penny pinching over something that sits, $3.85, $3.88. What 3 cents gonna do? Is that gonna buy you another meal? No. I don't care if it's 20 cents. Is that gonna buy you another meal? No. But if you got the mentality of I gotta get the cheapest or the lowest thing, then guess what? You cheating yourself. You already there to buy the meat, go on buy it. Get what you want. Matter of fact, if you get what you want, that's probably gonna be the biggest thing. It might cost more, but it might last longer. Why? Because there's more of it. But if you try to get the smallest, it ain't gonna last as long because it's not as much. Well, y'all, that was the free game right there. I hope y'all heard that. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? So, but it wasn't enough for me to just have my grandfather just spitting game here every now and then or whatever. It wasn't enough for me for my uncles just to, say certain things. And I love my uncles, they didn't really say too much. That what was a lasting impact for my life. Maybe for other people, but for me, I needed that every day, all the time. I needed that, but I didn't get it. So I shut down in a lot of ways, along with my own insecurities, along with everything else I had going on inside my body, inside my heart, my spirit, my mind. And I didn't have that strong male figure to reassure me, to show me the ropes. The reason why I've been married 3 times, because I didn't know how to talk to a woman. I didn't know, I wouldn't talk. And it's probably a good thing. It's probably a good thing too, but I probably would have a lot of baby mamas, and I'm just saying. So it's like, it's kind of almost like a catch-22, like, yeah. But I didn't have no one there to build me up. My mom was there, but she worked. So she taught me about God. This is why I get on here and I pray and I read, I do my weigh-in wins and all that, because that's her all day. That's her all day. That's what she lived. That's what she lived, breathed it, ate it, all of that. So that's what she taught. So that's on the inside of me. You can't pull it out. I can't throw it away. I can't run from it. I done tried. It ain't happening. So, but I didn't have that male figure to be like, hey man, you strong, you confident. I didn't have that. I didn't have no one to say, hey, when that girl dish you or that girl turn you, I don't worry about that. It's really fish out there and see. I didn't have none of that. So when a girl says something to me or whatever, it crushed me. When she dissed me, it crushed me. So when it came time to looking for marriage and all of that, I was jumping at whatever liked me or whatever said that I was cute or whatever, I jumped at it and was like, oh, this got to be the one. I didn't do no research on them. I didn't try to find, I didn't care. You say you like me? Oh yeah, you the white. Thank you. My search is over with. I'm done. I'm on the way. Not realizing there was so, and I ain't get on here to talk about that. I'm just, So I learned a lot. Getting back to the story, I learned a lot about being a father, even though I didn't have one. Because when you grow up without a father, what you see is kind of a lot of times what you become. So, and because I don't have my own children, biologically, I look at it as a blessing. This is what I believe. I believe that because it's not like, my dad has children, my brother have kids, like, so it's not like it don't run in, in the family, like, So I'm like, well, what's wrong with me? Could it be my weight? Could be, But I think God kind of blocked that for me because he knew what was going on the inside. So he was like, oh, no. No, you got to stop. I got so much more for you. That right there, God is about order. And so I believe God blocks certain things in order for you to get in order. And once you get in order, then the abundance will flow. But until you get in order, you're going to see, we wonder why, God, I don't know why I've been praying for this. I've been wanting this. We go on and on and on. And God is like, okay. Yeah, I heard your prayers. I saw you crying. All of that. But you're still not doing what I asked. I've given you instructions. I've given you direction. And you start off good, but then you veer left. You start off good, and then you veer right. So if I can't trust you with just sticking to the map, why should I put this in your hands? Why should I give you, children? Why should I give you success and money if you can't handle just going 2 blocks straight without turning? You know what I'm saying? So becoming a father, yeah. when you didn't have that example, it's a different thing. And everybody has, I think for some people or some men, it fueled them to be like, man, my father wasn't there, but I'm gonna give my child everything that I didn't have. And I had that same fight, like, yeah, which is one of the reasons why, I went, wanted to be married because of my father not being around and me not having a father growing up. I was like, man, I don't want to be nothing like him. I just want to get married. I just want to have kids. Bada bing, bada boom. And I did all that out of order. And God is about order. Because I was so vexed on trying not to be like my father that I just went in a direction that, really hindered me in my life. Wait, tip. Look ahead. How far ahead are you looking? Are you looking way beyond what you can see right in front of you? See, when you're looking right in front of you, it really ain't much you seeing. But when you look far, far ahead, now the view is clear. Now there's more that you can see. Why? Because, see, a lot of times we focus on what's in front of us. But see, what's in front of us blinds us. It keeps us from seeing what's really around us, what's really in front of us, what's really blocking us and endangering us. But see, when when we look far ahead, we look beyond. We remove the blindness. Now we can see. Now we can see what's going on. Now we can see what's coming. Now we can see what's around the corner. See, God has his eyes on us, but we got to keep our eyes on the enemy because the enemy wants to destroy us. So look ahead. This is Weight Tip. Let's get it. Because I was so mad at him. I was so upset with him. I was so trying not to be not like him. Not really knowing him, but yet just this image or this idea of who he was. And I was running from it. But when you run from something, try to have a clear path for where you're running to. Because it does you no good to run away from something if you're just going to run into a brick wall. Y'all have seen all the scary movies. When they trying to run from the predator, whoever, and they falling down and they running the water, like, bruh, like, if you're going to run, know where you're going so you can get away. But when you just take off and not knowing where you're going, you're going to pull around and run into a dead end. Dead. Like, exactly, dead. So when I realized that, Kaylin and mom, or, Kaylin and her mom and I wasn't going to, I had to make a decision. And it was like, okay, I'm no longer a husband, but do I want to be a father? That's another type of weight. Yeah, it's, trust and believe divorce is not easy. It's never easy. But walking away from a child who had nothing to do with, that's hard. I was watching the interview and, they was interviewed. They was at the question was asked was, I know y'all have a blended family. Is it hard? And they said, yeah, it's hard having a blended family because he's coming in with a child, and then y'all having children together. So there's a dynamic there that's that child that's coming in got to get used to this person that they don't really know or just whatever the case may be. So it's a crazy dynamic. And so if I'm going from raising this child to not only am I not the biological, but now I'm no longer with her mama. So it's like, and I could have easily walked away. Because there's no strings attached. As far as, blood. But there was a string on my heart. There was a string on her heart. So I had to make a decision. And it's the best decision that I've ever made. Because one thing I've learned about being a father, and fathers, let me help those fathers who are not in their children's lives. It's not about the financial aspect of it. Now I know the women gonna push back. Oh yeah, it is. I need mine. I'm taking care of the child, and you. I get that, but that's an adult issue. That child ain't got nothing to do with the financial thing. That child don't see the money no way. It ain't like the child getting the money. Yeah, they getting taken care of. They got a roof. Only thing children do every day, wake up, play, go to school, eat, take a shower. They don't pay no bills. They don't have no responsibility besides cleaning their room or taking out the trash. So when it comes to money and all these different things, they don't know nothing about that, nor should they. The parents need to come together and be adults and have a conversation and say, okay, let's work this out. Whether you go to the court room and do it or y'all one-on-one, somebody got to be grown. Somebody got to grow up because this child suffers because the adults can't come together. So that's why I went to my ex and say, hey, if you will allow me, I want to be there. And since then, I've been there. And see, and the reason why I said children, you know, I want to talk to the fathers because guess what? All the children really want is for you to show up. All they really want is for you to show up. All they really want is for you to keep your promises. They just need to see you. They just need to be able to touch you. You ain't got to come bearing gifts every time and try to buy their affection. Just show up. That's it. That's it. Like I just said, my daughter graduated today. Yesterday, and since, you know, I've been going on this other journey, you know, I end up moving to Dallas. So I'm here in Dallas now. That's been about 8-9 months ago. Well, my daughter lives in Houston. So so it was already me not being in the house and, you know, that ordeal. But now it's like, oh, now you 4 hours away? And that hurt her. You know, she was like, dang, bruh, really? And as a father, you know, I felt some type of way, like, but I had to reassure her, like, I'm down the street. I don't care what you think or how many miles you may think it is. I'm down the street. If I need to be here, I'll be here. Trust and believe I will be here. And I had to reassure her in that. So I've made it my mission to, you know, hey, to show up. I've shown up to her school and I think, her old school, not the one she graduated from, but she went to another school prior. And they had like these on Fridays, you know, the parents could come and eat lunch with them. So, you know, I called the mom and was like, hey, you know, I'm you know, I want to pull up. So she's like, oh, okay, well, they lunch around this time. You know, I was like, what she eat, you know, what she want, whatever. Went and got her some lunch. Came and yeah, I guess the teacher told her that, oh, you got a parent here. So she probably was thinking of her mom or her grandmother. Man, she seen me and her face is lit up, dude. And we hugged, we embraced. And the whole time we sitting there talking, all I kept hearing her say was, wow. Wow. That's all she kept saying. And, okay. Yeah, I'm trying not to, you know, go there. But that let me know that she was like, man, my dad no longer lives here. My dad, because that's what she called me, dad. And he's coming to see me. He coming to surprise me. So she was excited. She, you know, I'm meeting teachers and some of her friends and hey, how y'all doing? You know, and y'all got to understand something. I started not to do it. Why? Because, you know, I'm this overweight guy and I know how kids can be cruel when they, you know, because kids, they say whatever on their mind. So I was a little apprehensive about going because I'm like, man, I don't want her to be picked on. I don't want her to be, you know. But her reaction just, and even knowing, I said, no, I can't do my baby like that. I know this would, you know, make her day. At least I was hoping it would. And it did. So I make sure that I show up. I can't see her every week. I can't see her every month, but I'm calling every week. she got a phone, but I make sure I'm calling, I'm texting. Are you good? How's school? So I want the fathers to understand that it's important for you to show up. It's important for you to, if you can't, I get. See, my situation is unique. It is unique. So I don't know all the nuances of other relationships. I only know what's going on in mine, between me and her mother and, stuff like that. But what I am saying is, I need y'all parents, I need y'all ladies, like I told y'all in the beginning, don't feel left out. Because if the guys don't get these bullets, y'all gonna get this heat too. It ain't about y'all. And I said this in a whole nother video. It ain't about y'all. It's about these children. These children need their father. You can call them a deadbeat, and that's another thing. Stop talking about these men in front of y'all children. If he gonna be a deadbeat, allow him to be a deadbeat, but allow your child to see that. Like I told y'all, my mother, and she told me this later, because she said I had to tell him to stop calling or making promises, because every time he did and he didn't show up, I had to sit there and watch you cry. And I was like, what? And this is to show you how deep those scars were. I couldn't even remember crying and being hurt because he wasn't there. I couldn't even recollect. It wasn't even in my memory. That's how deep those scars were. So you got to be careful of the conversation that you're having about these men with your friends, with your family. Kids are listening. They're paying attention. And as long as you are dogging these men out, then guess what? Now the child is conflicted because they're like, man, but that's my daddy though. See, when these children are young, man, their daddy is everything to them. Everything. Now, when they get teenagers and grown, yeah, they'll start to see like, this you know what I'm saying? They'll see that and they'll understand that. But don't you be the problem. Because they're gonna look at you like, man, why you didn't, case in point. Y'all see my stage name, Kizzie. Dom is short for Dominic. That's my government name. My government last name is Passmore. Now, I don't know who Passmore is. I ain't never met Passmore. It was a guy that my mom married when she was in the service. They divorced. She kept the last name. Why? I don't know. She told me she just didn't want to go through the process of changing it back, blah, blah, blah. Okay, whatever. Well, when I was born, I wasn't giving my dad last name. Kizzie is my dad's last name. And I actually was going through the process of getting it changed because I'm like, yo, that's, like I said, I love my dad. You know what I'm saying? I love my, my dad's side of the family. Like, man, we family. So because I don't have no connection with outside of my mom, I don't have no connection with a Passmore. I don't know, and your name means something. You know what I'm saying? And so I had a conversation with him, and I did ask him this. I said, why didn't I get your last name? And he said, well, by the time I got to the hospital, it was a done deal. Now, I don't know how long it took him to get to the hospital when I was born, but the certificate and everything, the birth certificate was done. My mama named me, gave me last name, everything. So he didn't really have a say-so. Now, of course, at this point, my mom's no longer here. So I couldn't ask her, like, Mom, why you didn't, why I couldn't get my dad's last name? And he alluded to the fact that they was having some issues and, I guess they wasn't on speaking terms. So I get it. Maybe she, had attitude, was mad at him, was like, he ain't getting nothing from you, whatever. But, I can't ask her that because she's no longer here. But for me, I was like, man, I feel empty. It's like, I feel like I never got that opportunity to be a part of him, at least in that way, to have his last name. Maybe not his first name, because, because Because come to find out, that's well, I'm not going. He done told me some things. I'm like, whoop. So, but and as I started the process of changing my name, it's a lot. Woo! Lord have mercy. Man, like Social Security, banks, man, all kind of stuff. So I was like, you know what? And the reason why Dom comes up because, matter of fact, when I worked in Houston, Dallas the first time, when I was staying in Dallas the first time, they kind of gave me that on my job as a nickname. And I had never had a nickname, like that. I was like, I like Dom. So I just been using it and the marriage has come together and bam, we got Dom Kizzie, baby. You know what I'm saying? And to me, it's perfect. I love it. I don't care what y'all say. I love Dom Kizzie. You did? Let's get it. But anyway, so that was the reason how it came about. So it's like, I understand when parents are not on agreement and all this and that, but y'all can't take it out on the kids. Ladies, y'all can't take it out on these guys. Or y'all can't take it out on y'all kids. Why? They need their fathers. Because like I said, when they young, daddy is everything. But as they get older, they'll see for themselves. And then when they old enough and they feel like expressing their feelings, that's when you talk to them. Well, like, well, baby, yeah, your dad is, we just gonna pray for him, or he do have some issues, but we just gonna keep him lifted. Yeah, encourage your child to, look at their father as they sick, or, like don't beat them up. Because when you do that to a child, now the child it takes on this level of anger or whatever. And now you wonder why your child's so angry, and then you want to blame the guy. I'm like, well, okay, yeah, he gets some blame, but what did you do though? What was your part in that? How did you talk about him? Did you say, oh, your daddy was that? Or did you, oh, he ain't nothing but a dog, I can't stand it? And see, that's what I'm saying. Y'all might not be saying that to y'all child. Y'all might not be like, your daddy ain't nothing, but you having conversations. You talking loudly. And kids are listening. You might think they in there playing. They paying attention to your conversation. And it ain't just that. They hear other stuff. So you got to be careful what you say, how you move around your children. But man, becoming a father and not having that, direction, it's an interesting thing. And it's a lot to learn. Because you didn't have that, it's like you really learning on the fly. You're really learning on the fly. So I say this, to women as well. Your child's father, whether he's your husband, your baby daddy, whatever the case may be, he gonna make mistakes, especially if he's never had a father. Or if he's had a father, he gonna make mistakes. But you gotta give him grace. Now, if he continues to show himself as what he is, like I said, man, try to move best way you know how. But don't allow your child to suffer as far as, because they're gonna look at you and be like, Mom, why you didn't get it? We gotta grow up as grown people. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said in another video, men, stop sleeping with these women if y'all don't want to be with them. Sex is great when it's done the right way, and that's marriage. Hello. But when you just going around sleeping, guess what? You playing Russian roulette. At some point, you're gonna die. So, and women, and I got something for y'all. I'm gonna save it for another video. But stop sleeping with these dudes. Stop getting caught up in what they got going on, and there should be something in you that says, I'm worth it. I'm worth more than what you're giving me. Whew. Oh yeah, I got something for y'all. Hold on, word. We come. But anyways, man, I wanted to do this video because, like I said, it was hot off the presses, and to see my daughter graduate today was just a blessing. And I'm so honored that she looks at me as a father. I'm so honored that I'm her dad. I'm so honored that I get the opportunity to mold and shape this young lady, because she really is blessed. She got me, she got her actual father, and I think she got one coming on the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, she got men in her life, and that's what I'm saying. And young girls really need that. They need men in their life to show them, to keep them away from these other dudes out here, that these little boys that's talking all that schmiggity smack. The more men, grown men around her that's teaching her and training her up the right way, the better it is for her. So she got a shot. So when she becomes a teenager and a grown woman, she knows what to look for. She knows what to look for. So it's a privilege and an honor. But I want to speak to all the other fatherless fathers. Y'all doing a great job. Continue to father your children. Continue to father the children that are not yours. Because this other thing I've learned, it's not about blood. It's not about the blood running through the vein. God has, number one, you chose to be with this woman that had these kids. You chose that. So when you make a choice like that, you can't just choose the woman. Ooh, I know I'm stepping on some toes now. Because you got some men out here that's only choosing the women and ain't thinking about these kids. She's a package deal. It ain't just her. I know she fine. I know she got it going on. Oh, but she got some kids. She got a child, 2 child, however many children she got. There's this guy, and I'm not gonna say no names, but I know this guy. They married a woman that had, about a kid. He chose her, but he chose her children as well. And I give mad props to him, because I'm like, man, that's a G move right there. Because he knew going in that, hey, I just can't just date her. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I ain't talking about no 1 or 2 kids, plural. And it's more to that situation. But my point is, that's a G move right there, because he was like, yo, I think of you so much that I understand what all you got with you. So I'm gonna take all that on. Like, you can't get more boss than that. I'm like, bruh, okay. So understand, man. Even y'all out here sleeping with these women with these kids. Hello, she got kids, bro. So that means she fertile. Really? Did she get pregnant? Now, amen. Boy, I'm about to say something. So understand who you with. Understand what she got going on. And you be there. You be there. And I heard something about, I guess it was something to the effect about, I guess this girl had a couple baby daddies, and I think it was a question about, only one of the baby daddies was doing for his child and the others wasn't doing. Man, it's not your responsibility to do for anybody else's child. But if you know that, and this is just me speaking. This is just my heart. If you know that, what I'm saying, your ex has multiple baby daddies or whatever the case may be, and you finna do something for your child, just, look out for the other child. You could buy them a toy or even take them with y'all. Just look out for them, because it's not their fault that they father not doing what he's supposed to do. And that's just a G move right there. That's all I'm saying. That's brownie points. It don't even have to be brownie points from your baby mama. It's it's just the right thing to do, bro. Like, just because, like I said, children don't work. They don't have, jobs or responsibilities. They don't pay bills. So they literally in this world, like, they in this world, and they, whatever they get, they, that's why the Bible says, train up a child in the way that they should go, so when they are old, they won't depart from it. You got to train these children up. And a child is dependent upon the parent. They're dependent. So that means whatever a parent give them or how they give it to them, they got to receive that, because they're not going to get it from nowhere else. So just on a G move. Nah. Yeah. Because I was going to say, it depends on how many more kids you got. But that's, just on the G move, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can, just try to go on, you know what I'm saying? Go on, bless those little kids, just show a little love, To me, children are our future, and they're so amazing and beautiful, and their hearts are so open wide. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you see children act a certain type, they being taught that. Or they're around evil. A child don't, like, now, we are all born in sin and shaped in iniquity. So a child can be evil or be bad, but you got to teach them right. And if you never teach them or cultivate them, then they're going to be whatever they see or whatever they feel or whatever the case may be. But a child is what a child is. You got to cultivate that. You're not going to give a child keys to a car and be like, okay, go drive. No. I don't care how many times they done sat in the seat and watched you put the key in and put it in drive and did it. No. That don't make them responsible. I don't care how smart these kids are. Like, oh, that child is amazing. That's nice. You're very smart. But you ain't ready for this. I'm barely doing this. Adulting. You sure ain't ready. If I'm still trying to figure it out, you sure ain't ready. You better stick to them books and go to school. Call it a day. Go play your game or whatever the case may be. You ain't about this life. That's just for them parents out there who ain't, ooh, Lord, they're letting these children raise themselves. Come on, man. We got to do better. But anyways, man, I just wanted to get on here. Much love to all the fathers. Even for the ones that aren't doing their job, because the reality of it is, we got to understand something. It might be a reason why they're not in their children's lives. Maybe the mother is keeping them away from the child. Maybe the mother is saying, well, if you can't give me this money, you can't see your child. That's why I say, ladies, you can't do that. It can't be about money. Because you're taking care of the child anyway, so what difference will it make whether he give you money or not? And when I say that, I'm not saying that he shouldn't give you money. I'm not saying that he shouldn't take care of his responsibilities. Hear me when I say that. But if you taking care of him anyways, you got to allow him to be in their life. You got to. Because that child needs to know where they come from. They need to know what that side of the family. One thing I have to say about my grandmother, my dad's mom, she made sure that I was a part of the family. She called me. She gave me birthday presents. Every time when I became a minister, she showed up. When I got married the first time, she showed up. She showed up. And because of her, I was able to have a sense of family on my dad's side. But had she not done what she did, ain't no telling where I would be. So that's why you got to allow these children to know who their fathers are. So that they can know, they can know that other side of them. Because one thing about children, when I was sitting there waiting on my daughter's graduation, I was sitting in my vehicle and I'm looking at the parents walk the children in, to school. And if I tell you, kids act, they mannerisms, they sound like, they move like, they walk like, just like their parents. And I'm looking at, this one dad, he was kind of jittery, and his daughter was jittery. She all over the place. I mean, these kids mimic and look exactly like their parents. So if your child is acting a certain type of way and you know that ain't you, it might be the dad's side. But that child needs to know that. There were some things that I wish I would have known, or I wish I would know now about my dad. And maybe it would answer some questions or plug up some holes that's missing in my life. But because I don't know him like that, you know, there's still some things missing. But it's cool though, because whatever I'm lacking, God has filled in. Whatever I'm missing, God has replaced. So I'm good. But my plea is for you all, because you have the opportunity to change it today. That's why I'm doing this video. You have the opportunity to change it today. But I love you guys, man. Shout out to Juice, man. So proud of you, baby. Continue to keep growing. Continue to keep doing your thing. I'm going to do my thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm dad. You dig? All day, every day. Much love to you fathers. Thank you, mothers, for carrying our children, you know, feeding our children, praying over our children, loving our children. And, you know, we as men, we going to do better. And if we don't do better, trust and believe. You still have you still got a man you can call on. That man's name is Jesus. And he's not man that's in flesh, but he's God. You did? So, man, hey, love y'all. This is the Fatherless Father. Can't wait to talk. And guess what? We gonna talk about it. It's your boy, Kizzie, in the building. And we gonna see you on another time. Let's get it. Cussing and stuff bleeped out because I am who I am. So, you know what I'm saying? I got to do what I do, man.
Do what you do.
But it's going down. Really.